Hi. In this video we're going to be looking at coordinates. This is something else that's come in for level 2 since September. It's easy. It's just like looking at a graph. And you've got X and Y axis, as you can see. You don't really need them, but we'll put them in anyway. That's X and that's Y. So, how does this work? It's quite simple. You've got positive numbers in this section and you've got minus figures in this section. And the idea is to plot where different things are. So I'll put a few random crosses in there just to show you how it works. You use the x-axis first. So if you're plotting this one, let's call that A. In fact, let's do that all the way through. B, C, and D. You want the plot for A, you read the x-axis first. So it's 3, 2. And you would write your answer in brackets. 3, 2. And that's it. In your exam, you're probably going to already have the brackets and a line for each figure. So all you've got to do is put the figures in. So similarly, if we're looking at B, that's A. B, we do the X first. So B is there. So 1.5 in this case. Minus 1.5. Sorry, minus 2. 1.5 minus 2. 1.5 minus 2 with a comma in between. If we're looking at C, you'll notice they're both in the minus figure section. So you'll have your brackets, you have a line, comma, another line and a bracket. We're plotting C. We need this one first, X first. That's on minus 4. This one is on minus 1.5. So minus 4 minus 1.5. It's as simple as that. You just read in the chart. If we're looking at D, we want this one first, x-axis. You could put the x this side as well if it helps you. Put the y down here again if it helps you. The x-axis first, minus 4 minus 1.5. Now we've done that one. X-axis first for D, minus 4, 3. Minus 4, 3. And it's as simple as that. Or is it? There's always a but. And we'll do the but in the next video. It's slightly different. It's still coordinates, but it's slightly different and we need a different chart. So rather than mess about trying to get rid of this one and get the other chart up, we'll just concentrate on this for now. The layout of these will always be the same. The y-axis and the x-axis will cross. The x-axis is the one that goes across. And if you can't remember which is which, another name for an X is across. So across. The y-axis is down. You always have the positive numbers there in that section. You always have the negative numbers there in that section. They'll always be the same. So just read what it says It's as simple as that. There's a game show on the TV that I hate, but the catchphrase, funnily enough, is say what you see. And it's the same as this. Just say what you see. That's a 3 and 2. So the answer must be 3, 2. Say what you see. Okay, that's coordinates. But there's a twist, and I need to change the chart. The last one that we did was a cross with the x-axis almost halfway up the y-axis, slightly different to a normal graph, and that was for plotting points somewhere within the grid. This is slightly different. This is called flipping, and you'll get an x and y axis again, just the same, almost like an ordinary graph, if you want to put it that way. X and y axis. But it looks like a normal graph grid rather than having the x-axis up here somewhere. And you'll be given a shape that will already be drawn for you. And what you have to do, this usually is a 2-part question. Flip the shape 90 degrees. Well, 90 degrees is a right angle, as you know, so from there to that. Simple as that. Lie it down, in other words. So, I'll do it in black so you can see the difference. It's 2 squares wide. So it's only going to come up to here. But even though it says 3, it's actually 6 squares high. So we need to go across 6 squares to there, up to, hope you can see that in black. So now it's as simple as that. You've flipped it 90 degrees. It's standing up 90 degrees, it's lying down. It's 6 squares high, so it's got to be 6 squares long. It's 2 squares wide, it's 2 squares wide. So that's part 1. That's the answer to A, flipping the shape. The other part is plotting point X on your flip, not on the original drawing. The plot for X at the moment would be 2, 3. So 2, 3. But that's moved because it's now lying down. And X is now going to be there. If you flip that over, so the plot for X now is 5, 1. So you would put, in brackets, remember, 5, 1. 5 on the x-axis and 1 on the y-axis. Notice that you don't have to put the axis letter. You don't have to put X and Y. The same as in the previous coordinates where you're plotting points on the chart. You don't have to put the X or Y axis in there, just the numbers. I don't know why I've put -5 there, to be honest. I only just noticed that. Sorry about that. It's not minus, it's just 5. Five, 1. There are no minus figures on here. I'm glad I spotted that, that might confuse you. So, flip the shape 90 degrees. It's standing up, it's now lying down, so that's that bit done. X marks the spot. Plot point X on your flip, not on the original one. So on your flip, that's now moved to there. So the plot 5, 1. Simple as that. That's coordinates. Either you're plotting different marks on the chart, or you're flipping. Now, I said before that I've seen 2 exams so far, 2 different maths exams at level 2 so far. Coordinates are in there, or at least they're in the curriculum. Not only have I not seen a coordinates question similar to the one before this, where you're plotting different areas of the chart, I haven't seen a flip either. But it's in the curriculum. So again, by the time you get to your exam, it might be in there, because they do tend to swap these things around a little bit sometimes, just to keep you on your toes and to make sure that people aren't talking about exams, telling other people what's in there and what isn't. They swap them around. There's always some of the same stuff, and we've been through that already. But the other stuff, they change around. So just because it's not in there right now doesn't mean it's not going to be in there when you do yours. So again, revise. It won't take a lot of revising to do this. It's simple, but it's worth a few marks. Okay, that's it for coordinates. All done.